Good day everyone. I am Rayan Gianni from Bachelor of Science Civil Engineering. So we'll be talking about the major development programs and personalities in science and technology here in the Philippines. So it determines the development or the progress of science and technology here in our country, also the acceleration of economic growth and the persons behind and what are their contributions. Science and technology here in the Philippines has a broad history way back to the early American colonial period where the Bureau of Science was created, also the public schools. In response to the problem and to the need for science and technology to generate products and processes that were supposed to have a greater beneficial impact on the country, 19, 1980s research utilization was given stronger emphasis. So number one is the NSTA or the National Science and Technology Authority. The second one is the PCHRD or the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development. So ano nga ang ginagawa ng PCHRD? PCHRD is one of the three sectoral council of DOST, and also they provide central direction, leadership, and coordination. They monitor, evaluate health science and technology activities. Third is the PCIERD or the Philippine Council for Industry and Energy Research and Development. PCIERD is develop and implement resource generating strategies to support the program for the sectors. Also, one of the sectoral planning council of DOST has the authority to set and specify R&D goals and priorities. And the fourth and the fourth one is the PCARRD or the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Forestry, and Natural Resources Research and Development. So PCARRD. And the last one is the NRCP or the National Research Council of the Philippines. So NRCP is the productive scientists and researchers of the Philippines, and their mission is to contribute to national buildings and improvement of the quality of life of Filipinos.
The Department of Science and Technology was further reorganized and resulting more establishments. The Technology Application and Promotion Institute or the TAPI is one of the DOST services agencies that promotes the commercialization of technologies and market of services of the other operating units of the department. The SEI or the Science Education Institute undertakes the science education training, formulates plans and establishes programs and projects for the promotion and development of science and technology education. The STII or the Science and Technology Information Institute has the responsibility to spread science and technology information and to establish science and technology data bank and library. National Institute of Science and Technology was renamed Industrial Technology Development Institute in 1987 under the reorganized Department of Science and Technology. The ITDI or Industrial Technology Development Institute is mandated to undertake applied research and development in the field of industrial manufacturing, mineral processing, and energy. It is responsible for the transfer of research results directly to the end users or via linkages with other government agencies. The Philippine Council Advanced Science and Technology Research and Development or the PCASTRD is responsible for formulating strategies, policies, programs, and projects for advanced science and technology development. and the PCAMRD, or the Philippine Council Aquatic and Marine Research and Development, formulates strategies, policies, plans, and projects for aquatic resources and research development. On top of that, Department of Science and Technology placed greater attention on massive technology transfer activities. The Department of Science and Technology also initiated specific intervention through various programs like Comprehensive Technology Transfer and Commercialization, or the CTTC.
S&T services were also provided to supplement R&D and technology transfer. These services are upgrading of testing, standardization and quality control services, and various forms of technical assistance and consulting services, wherein in upgrading of testing, they upgrade the quality of their testing by means of new laboratory building, new apparatus, and anything that can help them in their research. The second one is the standardization and quality control services, where they provide guidelines for their employee to strive for better work. And lastly is the various forms of technical assistance and consulting services, which this service is a kind of service where they provide information to the other institute. R&D institutes undertook contract research. Contract research organization is a company who provides support. Their goal here is to help the collab institute, private sector, or the academe. Furthermore, they initiated a funding assistance. They provide funding assistance to the technology developers and acceptors through tying them up with the financial institutes such DBP, Technology Livelihood Research Center, Land Bank, and Private Development Corporation of the Philippines. There is transferring of technology from country to country. So to facilitate the transfer of foreign technology, they created the Science Parks. Science Park is also known as the Research Park. It is designed to support research and development in science and technology. Through Science Park, they can examine the transferred technology. These science parks were also intended to serve as vehicles for university interactions with private industry, whereas university and private industry were able to exchange ideas, knowledge about technology. Second one is to develop a new knowledge-based industries, since science parks were focusing on growth of economic through new knowledge. Lastly is provide a precious environment, since science parks consist of office spaces, labs, and workroom. In 1998, they formed a presidential task force on S&T. They formed it to deal with the problems of R&D and S&T development in the country. They also formed it to formulate a S&T development plan that would help the national development goal. During Ramos' administration, those formulate the agenda for national development. They called it STAND. STAND is the Science and Technology Agenda for National Development. It consists the country's technology development plan for a particular period, 1993 and 1998 to be exact.
Summary of Science and Technology Policy Programs in the Philippines. So when we say policy programs, these are programs in action selected by the authority to help achieve the goals of a specific sector such as the science and technology. On the top of our list is the Comprehensive Technology Transfer and Commercialization that was initiated to disseminate locally developed technologies. DOST then created supporting programs to the CTTC, such as the Technology Application and Promotion Institute that promotes commercialization of technologies, and Science Education Institute that formulate plans for development of science and technology education. To strengthen commercialization, DOST pitches locally developed products to investors. They also implemented national and regional technology fair, where various of DOST initiatives are being launched and a number of locally developed inventions are being showcased. They also have technology financing programs, whereas Development Bank of the Philippines and other financing institutions partnered with DOST to provide financial aid. DOST information services are made more accessible as they have 16 regional offices aside from its main branch, and an official web page where announcements and initiatives are regularly posted. Moreover, DOST training centers are also provided to improve skills and potential of every Filipino citizen. As of date, there are 16 regional offices and 80 provincial science and technology centers across the Philippines. DOST's Academy Technology Business Entrepreneurship Development Program is under the DOST's Technology Application and Promotion Institute that aims to help the youth start up a technology-based business. Technology Business Incubators is a facility where startups are hosted and business development services are provided. Once funded, the TBI offer an office space as well as technical assistance and facilities to get a business established. DOST Advanced Science and Technology Institute, together with local and foreign partners, provides science and technology parks to elevate knowledge in science and technology. The best example of it is the University of the Philippines Science and Technology Park in Quezon City, Manila. The search for development in technology never stops, and DOST continues to aspire as they provide research opportunities and embark science and technology knowledge with the aid of programs and initiatives. Investors provide funds for a specific developed product. In return, the said products will give assistance to the investors.
Now, let's proceed to upgrading of R&D activities. R&D means research and development. It includes activities that companies undertake to innovate and introduce new products and service. Now, we will talk about R&D priority plan. The initial list of identified R&D priorities included the following. Number 1, agriculture. Number 2, electronics. Number 3, energy. Number 4, environment and natural resources. Number 5, disaster mitigation and management. Number 6, health. Number 7, manufacturing and production. Number 8, information and communication technology. Number 9, biotechnology. And number 10, nanotechnology. Next is the Grant in Edge program. It seeks to strengthen the participation of various S&T sector, particularly in research and development or R&D. Promotion, technology transfer and utilization, human resources development, information dissemination, advocacy, and linkage. Now, let's proceed to Contract Research Program. It is a company that provides support to the pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and medical device industry in the form of research service outsourced on a contract basis. The last one is the R&D Institute program. The Research and Development or R&D Tax Institute encourage companies to engage in R&D benefiting Australia by providing a tax offset for illegal R&D activities. It has two core components: a refundable tax offset for certain illegal entities whose aggregate turnover in less than 20 million. A non-refundable tax offset for all other illegal entities.
Development of R&D infrastructure in the Philippines has become one of the most important in the community because it develops all the trends around the world and the analysis of current condition within the specific market. Manpower Development Program in Science and Engineering graduate and undergraduate scholarship program in priority areas. School level and secondary school level development of the grade school network serving as feeder schools for high school and technical schools. Vocational and technical education, development of vocational and technical schools in the industrializing areas. Scientific Career System or SCS, career path for scientists that will develop their technical expertise. Utilization of Filipino exports, employment of Filipino expatriates, recognition of SNT efforts, confirmed of the rank and title of national scientist. Lake Scientist Program development of SNT culture, taking advantage of trained Filipino scientists and engineers through information exchange, promotion of science, consciousness, and innovativeness. Organizing and strengthening of STS, sectoral network and establishment of new STS institutions and mechanisms.
During the administration of President Duterte, we experienced a lot of things that improve our way of living, not specifically in wealth, but in the society we live in. As we noticed, the crime rate dropped and the use of drugs were reduced too. The taxes also went to inflation, but there's an increase in competitiveness and there's an ease of doing business. There are lots of improvements that happened during this time of President Duterte's administration, especially for the care to the people in terms of education system, health, and protection. The increase of care to the poor also increased.
Major personalities in science and technology in the Philippines. We have here 4 examples. First, Fe Villanueva del Mundo was a Filipina pediatrician commonly studies about children. She was also a founder of pediatric hospital here in the Philippines. She was also invented an incubator to relieve or treat jaundice. Next is Eduardo Quisumbing, a Filipino biologist that leads an authority to plants in the Philippines. So he was also a botanist, an expert in medical plants. So next is Gabino Kahulao Trono Jr. He was also a Filipino biologist, father of Capapicus farming. So what's this Capapicus farming? This Capapicus farming is from the study of tropical marine ecology. So he focuses on seaweed biodiversity. So it's all about seaweed farming. Next, lastly, is Maria Orasa Ilagan, and a Filipina food technologist, pharmaceutical chemist, humanitarian, and war heroine. So why she became war heroine? During World War II, she joined with the Filipino to fight Philippine freedom. So on that day, she invented 700 recipes for food cannings to save Filipino from suffering. So that's all from major personalities in science technology in the Philippines. Thank you.
In 2019 edition of Asian Scientists, out of 100 list, there are 8 Filipino among the region most outstanding in their field, who made significant scientific discovery and provided leadership in academia and industry. Asian Scientist Magazine is an award-winning science and technology magazine that highlight research and development news stories in Asia and to the global audience. The following are 8 Filipinos scientists among Asia's best. First is Dr. Rosalinda C. Torres, a chemist from Technology Development Institute, cited for her research on larvicidal ability of the Philippine medicinal plant. Next is Dr. Marisa A. Paglikawan, a Material Science of Technology Development Institute, cited for her research on turning Manila hemp or abaca into an engineering. Next is Artemio Salazar, a agriculturist from UP Los Baños, followed by Rudy C., a biochemical science of UP Manila. Next is Gayjen Perez, a environmental science and geology, followed by Carissa Marcaida Ferreira, a life science of UP Diliman. And next is Elmer Dadios, a engineer from De La Salle University. And lastly is Ricardo Balog, a engineer from University of Santo Tomas.